Hey everybody, this is Chris with the Roundtable of Wraith. Welcome back to some Flesh and Blood content. Normally I'm off camera behind the scenes, but today I'm at the head of the table bringing you a janky, fun deck concept that's centered around 3 Illusionist cards that to this point have not seen any real highlighted or competitive play. These 3 cards are Phantasmify, Veiled Intentions, and Transmogrify. These 3 cards are all 1-costed buff cards that are increasing the power of your next attack and also giving that card Phantasm. Back in Monarch and then in more so in Tales of Aria once Veiled Intentions came out, I tried to mess around with this concept using Prism, but it felt a little awkward with needing to have yellows and the heralds, and just kind of with the Luminaris, it didn't really feel like it was exactly there as far as having the full, exploiting the full potential of these cards. So once Dromai came out, the concept kind of came back into my head. And then, funny enough, in Uprising, they released another card to supplement the Phantasmify Veiled Intentions, which is called Transmogrify. So it's not a buff, but instead of buffing the next attack with plus power, it makes the base power be 8, and it also gains Phantasm. So the idea of this deck is to play a red card, mainly Phantasmify, Veiled Intentions, or Transmogrify, and then since you've played the red card, you've then turned on the Go Again trigger from Dromai for all the dragons. So if you can start your turn with one of these buff cards, Phantasmify, Veiled Intentions, or Transmogrify, after doing that, you can attack with any of your Ashwings you may have out, or your Asvali, your Chromai, your Kyloria. And then on the back of attacking with the dragons, you can follow up with a 0-cost attack, which we have a lot of, that's getting buffed from the initial Illusionist action card at the beginning of the turn. So as you can see here, just in the deck, you have Blaze Headlong, Dust Up, Enlightened Strike, Overload, Ravenous Rabble, Snatch, Vipox, and Wounding Blow. So all of these are 0-cost attacks that you can follow up your buff card with to gain that total power of, let's say, maybe 8 or even more. I'm not really sure if this is actually a viable strategy or not, but you can present a lot of damage in this deck if you have maybe, say, the Phantasmify or one of the 2 pieces. If you have either the buff card or the 0-cost attack in your arsenal, you can keep a two card hand. You can still block with 2 cards and only have 1 red left over and still pump in a lot of damage here, especially if you also have Ashwings on the board too. Like I said in the beginning, you poke, and then you're playing the buff first and you're poking, and they all have Go Again, and you follow it up with an attack. So just kind of a fun concept for Blitz. I don't know if it's even anything relevant in Blitz, but obviously if you face a Kano, you're in some serious trouble, or Icelander, you're in some serious trouble with an all red line deck. But the reason I wanted to just put this out there is, like I said, just highlighting these 3 cards that they haven't really seen the light of day yet: the Phantasmify, Veiled Intentions, and Transmogrify. And I think with Dromai, it makes a little bit more sense to try to exploit these cards than it does in Prism. And I guess one thing on the Vipox, the new 0-cost Majestic, that's 1 base power, and it says if it hits a hero, they lose health equal to the number of cards in their hand. That card clearly with Phantasmify or Veiled Intentions is pretty underwhelming. It's going to be either a 5 or a 6, which isn't terrible, but the dream is to have the Transmogrify with the Vipox, because then it's like an 8 possibly on hit, they lose more health. So, but why not play with the fun new cards and see if they work? So, again, guys, this is just a sketch. This is just a concept. There's obviously other cards you could slot in here. Like main 2 examples would be Sandcover and Sigil of Solace. So Ryan has talked about the power of those cards in his deck tech. So, maybe if you think you could use a little bit more defense, you could take out a couple cards and any of the 0s and maybe slot in a couple more defensive things like Sandcover or Sigil of Solace. But those cards are interesting in that you can still use them offensively to play it on your turn, and you play the red card for your turn and give all your dragons Go Again. Pretty fun idea, but the with me kind of producing this video and getting this out there, another goal of it is just kind of get your brain, encourage you to kind of get cooking in the kitchen and look at cards that maybe haven't seen a lot of play. And, with whenever there's a new set that comes out, maybe there's some more synergies that have kind of been, I guess, under the radar for the last year or so with the Tales of Aria season, or an Everfest season. This has been Chris with the Roundtable of Wraith. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, maybe anything that you see that would be that you think would be helpful, or a suggestion, or any cards that I missed in this idea. But yeah, Chris signing off. We'll see you later.